Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are going to be talking about some hidden causes of fat gain today. So, we want to realize that you may have some questions, and if you have any questions, please feel free to give Dr. Justine a quick text at 647-987-9355. I wanted to welcome Dr. Justine here. She is our leader here at the Justine Blainey Wellness Center, and she is a passionate warrior for your health. Her main objective is to be able to provide you with the very best care so that you can be the best version of yourself. Please help me welcome Dr. Justine.
Hello, everyone. Well, we've got great information. Have you ever felt like you've done everything right and you still cannot lose weight? Or for me, you just hit a plateau, like if you're doing great, and then boom, it stops. The weight loss stops. So we're going to talk about 9 hidden ways that don't have anything to do with food on weight loss. But coming up, we have some amazing events in person. Yes, in person. We have essential oils workshops coming up. We have the Dine with Doc on how to manage stress, learning breathing exercise. We're going to go over 10 different ways that you can do breathing exercises. We're going to go over vagal tone exercises. These are things that you can do for free that will help your stress. So this is a dinner and health talk coming up. Sign up for that at our front desk. We also have learning foods to burn fat, stretches for your feet. That just happened to a patient last night. The doctor told him to get orthotics, but never got the specific exercises to help their arch, to help with bunions, to help with plantar fasciitis. So learning foot exercises. And then, of course, I love this one. These are called our makeovers. This is in person, and we're going to learn about how to anti-age. That's taking years off your life. We're going to be able to, you can jump on the scale at the office and see what is your bio age. That means not your chronological age, like I'm 53, but what is my bio age? What is my body saying on the inside, which says that I'm 45, which goes along with my Whoop that says that I'm 45. So it means that, hey, you're doing things right, but what more could I do to maybe be 44, taking years off my life to be healthier, better? Now, what if you were 10 years older? Would you change your life? Would that motivate you to make some 1, 2, 3 steps every year to be that much better? So this makeover is on aging. It's at the center. There's only 40 spots available. So coming up in January, February, we've got lots in person. We want to see you. We want to help you to be your best. And of course, for those who are online and far away, we still have so much online coming to you. So for today, we're talking about the 9 hidden causes of weight gain. If you have questions, let us know. And we're going to talk about, well, geez, why is this so hard? And it is hard. Most of the time, people think that it's diet and exercise, but sometimes it's more than that. So that's why we're going to talk about 9 explanations that can be to blame why you're hitting a plateau or why it's just not working. And number 1 comes to sleep. And this is probably my weakness. I do not sleep a lot. Even if I sleep a lot, I wake up many times, or I'm stiff if I sleep a lot. So I need to sleep and then have, siesta, a nap at lunch. If you sleep too little, though, overall, and especially over a long period of time, it disrupts your hormones that regulate your hunger. So literally, they've done studies that show that if you get less than 4 hours sleep or 4 hours sleep over just 2 nights, all right, that might happen with traveling or with stress within the family, you're going to decrease your leptin and increase your ghrelin. So you're going to decrease your leptin, increase your ghrelin hormones. So you're increasing your hunger hormone. And now, because you haven't got enough sleep just 2 nights in a row, you're extra hungry. They've shown that if you're not sleeping enough, it can decrease your risk of obesity by over 70%. That's how much sleep patterns matter. And even while traveling or during work schedules or just the weekends, people just get off Friday, Saturday nights, and it messes them up for the rest of the week. It throws off your circadian rhythm, your sleep-wake cycle, and it leads to a vicious circle of not sleeping enough, for example, on the weekends, and then trying to catch up through the week, or vice versa, working your butt off throughout the week and thinking you can catch up on the weekend. That vicious cycle makes it hard to overcome and affects these hormones, not just your focus, sleep, or energy. If this means we do need relaxing bedtime routines. That can be a warm bath, a foot massage, stretching, using a massager, listening to music, doing the breathing exercises that we'll be teaching, or the vagal tone exercises. But most important, sticking to a routine. So even when I visit my daughter in Idaho, they thought I was crazy, but I'm still up at 5 a.m. But 5 a.m. is 8 a.m. my time. I got to get up, be at the gym by 5 o'clock, 5:30, get going, so that when I do come home, I've only changed my cycle by an hour and a half or so, not 3 hours. So it's easier to adapt when I get home. So traveling, sometimes you need to change your home by an hour or so to make it easier when you travel. And when you travel and you're far away with the time difference, try to stick closer to your home schedule, especially if you're not gone for that long. Number 2 is sitosis. We are a society that sits too much, and it's definitely related to weight gain. If the majority of our day is sitting, it packs on the pounds. It actually affects the circulation of your enzyme lipase, and that's an enzyme that absorbs fat. So when a lipase is absorbed, isn't absorbed by your muscles because you're sitting too much, the fat circulates in your bloodstream and it ends up as body fat, clogging those arteries, creating disease and weight gain. They found that weight gain and sitting too much in women, even after they adjusted for diet and exercise, still led to disease. So that means even if you eat right, even if you exercise and you run 10 kilometers or you do your 10,000 steps, if you're sitting too much, you have sitosis, and that affects your lipase enzyme, and we need to reduce that amount of sitting. According to Mark Hamilton, PhD, the rates of heart disease, diabetes, obesity doubled or even tripled if you sit too much. They have done studies on over 4,000 men and women and found that if you watch too much TV and you sit while you watch TV, that can increase your risk of obesity by 80%. And and to me, like, watching 20 hours of TV seems absolutely crazy. But if you count over the week how much time, not just in front of a TV, but in front of your phone, in front of an iPad, all the minutes throughout the day, many people can get to 2 hours a day in front of a screen, especially if you could add screen time with work. Men who spend most of their leisure time, like my husband loves to catch up on the sports, but are 20% more likely to be obese, and women 30% more. So sitting definitely has a negative impact on your fat, on your cholesterol metabolism, on disease promoting, according to Mark Hamilton, PhD. And exercise can't undo it. We need to sit less. The enzymes in our blood vessels of the muscles are responsible for muscle burning, and they're turned off when we're not standing. So the key is to stand more. Even a standing desk, a desk like you see in the picture, that's what I'm at right now. I'm standing. So your Zoom calls, your talks, your reading, your eating even can be done standing. We need to reduce the time of sitting in order for optimal metabolism. So here are some ideas. Sit as often as you can. Stand as often as you can. Stand and walk on the spot while you watch TV. Stand while your kids are at the park. Stand when your kids are out skating and you're watching them do skating or gymnastics, or watching them play hockey. Don't sit in the stands. Walk up and down. Stand every hour. Set a clock on your phone so you do 10 squats every hour. Simple step is stretching, 5 to 10 minutes. There's so much on YouTube that's free for a 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute stretch to start your day and end your day. And of course, get that exercise routine. The goal to be healthy is minimum 30 minutes of exercise 5 days a week, and that's just to maintain. If you do want to lose weight, you have to do much, much more and get your heart rate going. Number three is some of the challenges that happen when in utero or as a child. They've even found the mother's weight gain or increased nutrition or even lack of nutrition affects the unborn child. This puts a lot of pressure maybe on moms, but maternal obesity affects our children, and it increases their risks of obesity. They've shown that our children are more prone to obesity even if the mother is undernourished during pregnancy. So this is in animal studies, but for the undernourished, but it is scary to think how much pressure for a mom to do things right. And that's why you want to coach along the way to be properly nutritioned. I know with my first child, my daughter, I gained 30 pounds. But with my son, I gained 65 pounds. It was crazy, the second child. So, was I doing things wrong? Probably. I remember having so much heartburn. So I was drinking too much chocolate milk, I think, anything to try and reduce that heartburn because he was breech. So you were reaching for food also for stress. So looking at those childhood nutrition as a utero is important, but also in the teenage and early years. They found if a child is obese, overweight in the teenage years, especially those early teenage years, increases the risk of obesity by 80%. That's a ton. We got to make sure we're moving so we get our kids moving. They do what we do, not what we say. So we want to make sure we're demonstrating, showing them our exercise routine so it becomes a part of their lifestyle. And we do have on our website a video of a family workout. So opportunities to create family workouts, even 3 generations of grandparents, parents, and kids to working out together at your own level. Number 4 is depression. Depression and obesity have a reciprocal relationship. I know that if I feel down, I'm reaching for food. It is so hard not to. I remember having a really stressful day, really working so hard to build our business with 2 small kids. And then there's just a lot of patients that I was feeling so much empathy for. I was so stressed for my patients that I came home just feeling all their pain. I reached for a cheesecake that I had in the freezer and I thought I'd have a piece. And then I'd had another piece. Before I know it, an hour later, I ate an entire cheesecake. It just became, unconscious eating. So we can, when we're down, eat too much. We need to get ourselves moving and away from the fridge. Depression can increase our risks of obesity by 58% and make it so that we want to overeat. It activates our endocannabinoid system, that's a mouthful, which increases our appetite. That's scary, folks. So this is the time to get help. Ask for help with your coach, with your chiropractor, with your friends. Let your family know that you need extra help at this time. It is the time to also realize that those are socially, economically disadvantaged. I mean, food is just so expensive now. It's easy to go for those fast foods. For me, it might be that scoop of peanut butter, but that one scoop becomes 2 scoops, becomes 3 scoops. It's easy to go for the comfort foods. When I was younger, it would be macaroni and cheese, Kraft dinner, just total garbage for me. But we want to realize that, yeah, it was cheap because I was a student, I didn't have money, but it also made poor choices and led to that cycle of actually feeling bloated, feeling worse, and then reaching for more food. So reach out to your healthcare practitioners, your chiropractor, your doctor, your naturopath, so that you can create better routines to be healthier. Number 5 is and this does come from Health Realizations article, but talk to your medical doctor, talk to your pharmacist. There are certain prescription drugs this part here is according to the Consumer Report, that increase your hunger. They can make you feel bloated. It's like corticosteroids, neuroleptins that are used for schizophrenia or for different lethargies. Antidepressants, again, even though you're feeling depressed or you have different anxieties, take a certain medication that can increase your hunger and increase your desire for sugary foods and cause weight gain, again, leading to a cycle of feeling more depressed because of the weight gain. And epilepsy drugs can affect weight gain. This happened to me. Contraceptions, birth control pill did increase my weight. I think about 10 pounds back then. And it couldn't change it. It was so hard. Didn't matter what health. And that point I was exercising, 30 hours a week, and it didn't make a difference. Even different diabetes drugs, blood pressure drugs. So definitely talk to your pharmacist about different options, and then talk to your natural health care practitioners about how you can manage blood pressure, diabetes naturally. Look into the Aura Ring for different options for contraception. Realize that this is an American research article, but the average American in the ages of 19 to 64 are taking 11 prescription drugs, and our goal is none. Be as healthy as possible from the inside out instead of from drugs from the outside in. There is a time and a place for drugs. Definitely talk to your pharmacist. Definitely talk to your medical doctor. But let's do what we can control to be our best. Number 6, this is my family problem, is portion sizes. I would go to restaurants, try to go to restaurants where you could get more. Go to all you can eat so you could get more. And I had to learn how to cut that in half. In our own home, I try to use the salad or dessert plates rather than the big, large plates. Try to use a smaller fork instead of a bigger fork, smaller spoon instead of a bigger spoon. I do love going to John's restaurant. I do find that's a local restaurant here rather than a food chain, but the food portions are massive. And so now I've had to learn to ask for that takeout container right away. Even the salad is massive, and I ask them to split that salad in half so that I can take half of it home. So many restaurants now the portions are just way too big. And it's even when we do Thanksgiving, Christmas, it's so easy to put too much on our plate. So start with smaller portions and think about that you can add it later. Our portion sizes over the decades have doubled, and so have our waistlines over the years. So the larger the portion sizes, then we tend to want to eat more and more and more. And if you go to McDonald's, it's super size this, double that, extra large that. Even a simple bagel now, over the last 50 years is bigger. Or French fries in the last 50 years is almost doubled in calories. Simple things like muffins, bagels, all are damaging to the waistline. And the goal is to start our day with fiber and protein, not carbohydrates. And if we are getting carbohydrates, in the form of low glycemic sugars like berries. So we want to assess the plate sizes, the fork sizes, as you see in the picture here. Smaller plates, smaller forks. Start with smaller sizes, half sizes. Give yourself 10 minutes and decide if you actually need more. Number 7 is realizing that obesity, weight gain can often be a symptom of something else going on. Because if you're doing everything right, then maybe your hormones are off. It's affecting your thyroid, PCOS. It's leading to different types of insulin concerns, or Cushing's disease affecting your thyroid. Could be related to diabetes, depression, lupus, any metabolic syndromes. So definitely make sure you're seeing your naturopath to get the tests done, or your functional medicine doctor, so you're doing more tests. I know that for me, when I was dealing with PCOS, seeing the naturopath, doing homeopathy made a massive difference. And then it made it easier to be able to get to my weight size. So very, very important to do more testing and realize that the testing is different between a naturopath and a functional medicine doctor and a medical doctor. They tend to look at things differently because they're not under the OHIP lens and trying to do things always just what's free and minimal, but trying to look at the full picture. So add some consultation. At our office, the consultations are complimentary. That's a 5 to 10 minute greet to see if that's a fit for you, so that you're comfortable and have more control to see if there's any other reason for your weight gain. Number 8 is realizing that there are different pollutions or toxins that we just can't get away from. They're everywhere, in our homes, in the air, on the chairs we sit on, in the car, when we drive. They're everywhere, and they're endocrine disrupting hormones that create more chances of weight gain and affecting metabolic systems and affecting inflammation. And that's why on all of our other wellness talks, we teach the anti-inflammatory diet. So these endocrine disruptor chemicals can be things like BPA, pesticides, and they predispose you to weight gain. And that's why I do recommend 2-3 times a year, as the seasons change, doing a detox. I do recommend a guided detox. That is the best way, but sometimes, and that means with a naturopath or a functional medicine doctor supporting you. My naturopath, Dr. Now, my functional medicine doctor, Dr. Lori, I don't try to do it all on my own either. So definitely getting support. But the easiest way to do a detox might be a fruit and veggie weekend or a water fast. If you're beginning, might be a 1-day water fast. As you get better, a 2-day water fast, a 3-day water fast, to reset your body with these toxins and help your gut health. They know these endocrine disrupting chemicals affect not only you, but even affect the fetus. So for moms, super important to do those detoxes before you get pregnant, not while you're pregnant, but because it does affect the baby's metabolic system as well. And that can create serious concerns. They have pointed out in the studies in the US, MU College and Science Daily, that there are over 50,000 man-made chemicals all over the world, but there's over 1,000 endocrine disruptors, and that's so hard to get away from. So that's why some of the examples is use your own BPA water bottle as much as possible. Never reuse the disposable water bottles. Don't put those disposable water bottles in the freezer. If they've gotten hot or outside, don't use them. Use clean household products and toiletries. For us, we use vinegar in our home. For makeup now, you can Sephora, you can go learn about the healthier makeups or healthier toiletries, fragrances, deodorants, shampoos. Stay away from smelly candles, air fresheners. Careful to make your own bug sprays to make it healthier, and look for the natural items. There is just so much pollution indoor, and all of these toxins can affect your metabolic system and affect weight gain, affect your organs. Finally, unfortunately, different viruses that we can catch can affect obesity. Adenoviruses, there's so many of them, but the research shows they can increase your risk of weight gain. And then if you are obese, you'll have more risk of catching an adenovirus and then have trouble managing that adenovirus. It affects the stem cells for fat tissues and fat cells, so it literally can increase your fat cells. But one of the things that I didn't realize is that if we are overweight and we do catch some of these viruses, not only will we get that, stuffy nose, cold sore, coughs, head, body aches, but research shows that even after you've recovered from those symptoms, your weight gain can still contribute over the next 3 months, even though you start to feel better. And so this is interesting because I've often been sick. I lost some weight because I didn't eat while I was sick. I slept more, but then all of a sudden I'm like, I lost 5 pounds while I was sick. I mean, that was a bonus because it sucked. But the next thing you know, I gained 10 pounds after being sick. And so there is some research to show super, super important while we're sick to be eating healthy. And then even after the symptoms go away, to try and follow an anti-inflammatory or max living advanced plan diet, which is on many of our other wellness talks. And what does chiropractic have to do with this? Chiropractic reduces the stress on your nervous system. It reduces that sympathetic stress, helps your nervous system to reduce stress on your thyroid, stress on your hormones, improve your interleukin-2. It improves your nerves to your gut health. It affects that brain gut axis. It affects how your body deals with being sick because you're less stressed. So what chiropractors do is find and locate those areas of subluxation, those areas of damage, pressure, choking off your nerve flow, so that your brain can send messages to your thyroid. Your brain can send messages to your gut health. Your brain is functioning at its best so you can reduce the overall toxic load and stress on your body. So if you have not had a spinal checkup, a nervous system maximized living checkup, I recommend you do a complimentary consultation, talk to the chiropractor, see what's right for you. I did a checkup last night, a young child, and all they said, the parents, they came in, is that the kid was always tired. The kid only wanted to play video games and only wanted to sleep. And they'd seen the medical doctor, no x-rays done. I did an x-ray, found out the kid had a scoliosis. He's in his early teenage years and they never found it. Always just thought, and we're blaming the kid for being lazy. Meanwhile, he had an underlying spinal condition that they didn't know about. The parents were crying. They felt so bad about how they'd been treating their son when he had a legit problem that they didn't know about. So please make sure your children also get a checkup. They need it too. They're on those devices. They're dealing with those toxins and stresses too. They deserve the best. I couldn't believe how upset those parents were last night. So get a spinal checkup and stay tuned with us, because we always have great information for you. So connect with us. So many wellness talks, so much on YouTube, so much on website, and now so much in person this year. So we're here to serve you. All of these are volunteer. They are free for you online, because we care and we want to make a difference. Send them to family and friends worldwide. We're here for you. Take care.